In 1889, Jane Addams and her friend Ellen Gates Starr came to a small immigrant town in Chicago where work opportunities were slim and disease was spreading. Many people in this town struggled to find work because of racial or language issues. Children did not attend school and instead worked as newsboys or shoe shiners to help support their families. Many fathers earned low income, died early, or deserted their families, pushing their children deeper into the business of child labor. There was also much sickness in this town, but families could not afford to visit doctors, so death continued to spread. Many people fought for shorter hours and greater income, but did not succeed, for soon after they experienced cuts in wages and they took to the streets rioting. Jane Addams came to this town with a solution, which later became known as the Hull House. Inspired after Toynbee Hall in London, it was supposed to become a community center. Here, kids had the option to go to school, people could visit doctors, and attend lectures taught by scholars about world issues, all cost-free. This settlement gave the town a place of belonging and a sense of community. Here, immigrants had the option to learn English and American culture. They were also given assistance in finding jobs. The Hull House even drew people of a higher class to the town, allowing the town to produce a greater income, which helped to provide low-class workers with greater wages. Addams was later joined by other women at the Hull House, including Florence Kelley, Alice Hamilton, and Julia Lathrop, who aided her in launching numerous social programs, including the Immigrants Protective League and the Juvenile Protective Association. They also helped to enact protective legislation for women and children, child labor laws, and minimum education laws. The Hull House became not only a community center, but the heart of political activism. Here, people met to discuss ways to fight for women's rights, African American rights, and children's rights. They also helped educate the people in the town about these issues, and suddenly, a town on the verge of death became a community with something to fight for. Addams became a huge advocate for children's rights and women's suffrage. In 1907, she helped found the Child Labor Committee, which led to the creation of the Federal Children's Bureau in 1912 and the passing of child labor laws in 1916. In her fight for women's suffrage, she became a chairwoman of the Labor Committee of the General Federation of Women's Clubs, and in 1920, she founded the American Civil Liberties Union. As World War I arose, America's involvement became a controversial topic. Many people throughout the country wished for America to fight, but Addams fought against it and joined the international peace movement in the early 20th century. Her decision led to her expulsion from the Daughters of American Revolution, and she was attacked by the press for some time. Despite many people's opinions of her, Addams was recruited by Herbert Hoover to assist him in providing relief supplies for women and children of enemy nations. In 1931, Addams was awarded the Nobel Peace Prize for her work with the Women's Peace Party and Herbert Hoover. She continued campaigning for peace and women's rights until her death in 1935. Today, the Hull House still stands as a museum honoring Jane's work, but it also continues to exist as a community center for that once poor and broken town in Chicago.